Hey everyone, welcome back to the Building Consultant Show, where we seek to educate, challenge, and inspire you on your journey of construction. Today, we want to have a conversation about something that is very important when it comes to home ownership, and this is about roofing. And our conversation is not on the ordinary way we have been doing roofing, but it is on something that we call light gauge steel construction. Joining me, we have Augustine. He is a specialist when it comes to matters light gauge steel. He has an experience close to a decade dealing with this area of construction. So he will be letting us know what is light gauge steel and why is it a thing that we cannot assume when we are making decision, when we are planning to build our own homes, and why we can consider to do light gauge steel when it comes to our roofing. And where else can light gauge steel be done when it comes to the house? So thank you so much, Augustine, for coming. We want to have a conversation here that is going to be beneficial to the viewer to understand what is light gauge steel. So maybe we could ask, I would start by asking you, help us to understand, because we have heard about light gauge. Some of us may have heard, or even others have not heard about light gauge steel. So tell us, what is light gauge steel? Karibu.
Santi, thank you, engineer, for having me. So, light gauge steel, as the name suggests, it's light, but it is an alloy of steel and zinc. So, it is very light but strong.
Okay.
So, you can opt of having light gauge steel instead of having the heavy gauge steel, and it still work the same way.
Okay. So what you are saying is that light gauge steel is steel in the first place.
Yes, it is steel.
Okay.
Technically, steel of grade 550.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe someone might struggle to understand what is this grade 550, but anyway, that's a conversation for another day.
Yes.
But then, so what makes it light? You're saying it is the component that we add?
Yes, because it is an alloy of steel that is zinc and aluminium.
Okay.
So it is very aluminium is very light. Zinc is a coat
Mm.
to make the aluminium not to. In some places it do rust.
Mhm.
So it's zinc is a protective layer.
Okay.
So it's very light.
And how light is it? Is it like half the weight of the normal steel, or how light is this?
Below half of the normal steel.
Okay. So coming to now this question of doing roofing, why should one consider to do light gauge steel? In this context, that many people who have been building, when it comes to doing the normal roofing, I've had a conversation touching about flat roofs with a waterproofing specialist. But then now there's the normal roofing that we are used to, the pitched roof or the hidden roof. And many people have been used to doing timber, for instance. Others have gone to an extent of now doing steel. Of course, they have their pros and they have their own cons. But where does light gauge steel come into this whole conversation about roofing? And maybe we can do a comparison between light gauge steel vis-a-vis the normal steel, and then light gauge steel vis-a-vis the timber. And we are talking about the roofing before we do the covering. So how do the two compare? The light gauge vis-a-vis the normal steel, how do they compare? Why should one consider light gauge steel?
Number one, I'll go for speed.
Okay.
See, in construction, if it is so fast, you save on cost. So light gauge is pre-engineered. So I'll come to the site, do the actual measurement. I'll design it from my office. Then to the site, I'll just assemble and start electing the trusses using screws. But see, now you check on the heavy gauge, you need to cut from site, you need to weld. So I think it takes a lot of time when you're doing heavy gauge.
Okay.
Yes.
Again, I would want us to quantify, assuming doing the normal steel, it would take me to do a normal roofing, how much time? Maybe a week or two?
Using like it?
The normal steel.
The normal steel, depending on the size of the building. If you're going to do the normal steel with a week, then it's 3 days for light gauge.
Half the time.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And I have visited one of your sites.
Yes.
Where you did the light gauge steel, and I could see the whole structure that is done looking a bit complicated than the normal steel roofing. So you're saying all that will be done within a time frame that is half the normal time frame to do steel, assuming the person that was doing with steel.
Yes.
Okay. Now, talking about light, there's also a fear that maybe by the time I am doing my roofing, this light gauge steel, and then I do my covering, it is so light that when there is heavy wind or heavy rain, then it is easy for this light gauge steel to be blown away or to be affected by the heavy downpour? How durable, how strong is light gauge steel?
Remember, we said light gauge steel, it is still steel. So it is durable,
But it is half, less than
half,
half.
half, less than half the kilos of the normal steel.
Yes.
But it is strong because it has all the qualities of or that make steel. Because the base metal is of course the cast iron. So in terms of being blown away by the wind, when you have proper anchorage on the beams, I believe there's no a particular reason that the roof will be blown.
Okay.
Yes. So it is steel, but it's still
Okay.
strong to hold enough all those specifications. We have a software, so we do test the wind strength, the loading, the impost, the dead loads. So as we go to the site, we are at 100% sure that whatever we are doing is perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
So there won't come a time when there's a hurricane or there's an earthquake, and then now your roofing system crumbles.
No, because our design softwares have some parameters to allow that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, I see. And so, how did you? Maybe you can remind me how you talked about. What did you talk about? How the light gauge steel are interconnected? Now that you talked about the normal steel, we would either weld it or bolt it. So, how do you connect the light gauge steel?
You see, as we are doing the production,
Yes.
when we have a production machine at our factory, so you do as you're designing, the connection are done by screws,
Okay.
which are very high in tensile. So we don't weld. So all the connections should be screwed. Yes.
Okay. Tensile, you mean, maybe to explain, is the strength to overcome the forces
The forces, yes.
that are operating on the roof,
Yes.
on the roofing.
Yes.
Fine. Let's come to light gauge steel with the timber,
Yes.
the timber roofing. How do the two compare? Because for many years, timber structures or timber roof structures are the most common when it comes to housing. Most homes would go for timber. Then again, I will ask you the same question. Why should I go for light gauge steel while I can still use the normal timber? Because maybe it might be requiring a lot of professional, or it could even be expensive. I know steel is more expensive than timber.
Yes.
So why should someone consider light gauge steel vis-a-vis using timber?
One, I'll go for durability.
Durability.
Yes. You see, light gauge steel, it's the resistance to moisture, number one.
Okay.
So it's termite resistant.
Yeah, you need to treat
timber.
the timber
Yes.
against the
And don't forget, right
termites.
now, we don't get the mature timber that you used to get back then.
Ah,
Yes.
okay.
As I was saying, so there's no dry, wet rot.
Yes.
It's fire resistant. So the speed of construction, should you go back to that again?
Yeah, maybe you can go back, because now I thought you said steel because of its way of fabrication, that we are bolting or we are welding on site. Timber, we are just nailing.
But it will take you some time to measure and cut. But my light gauge steel from the factory, it is already pre-designed.
Oh.
So I'll make, let's say you have 4 fundis doing timber. I'll have 2 doing light gauge, because I can amend that. I can do a truss of 6 meters with less than 3 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Come again. Come again.
I can do a truss of 6 meters use, with 2 fundis with less than 5 minutes, let's say so. But still, it is light. So even lifting that truss for 6 meters, I'll just require 2 persons. What about a truss of an example of a 6-meter wooden truss?
Yeah, of course, it might take some hours.
Okay, timber,
like, just cutting, measuring, and
nailing,
tying the joints.
What about the wastage?
Wastage. Yeah, then
Timber.
of course, there will be wastage.
Yeah, but on light gauge steel, everything is cut to size.
Okay.
Look at the design. It can it can be molded to suit any design, but you can't mold timber to suit any design, because in light gauge steel, I can have a U channel, I can profile a Z channel, and I can profile a C channel.
Okay.
Depending on what I want to do with a certain design.
Okay.
So it is flexible in design.
And what about cost compared to timber?
Okay, I've been in this industry close to a decade, as you said. Okay, I've done so many sites, and even the timber sites. But you see, everything is about the design. If the design is done correctly, I feel it's cheaper than timber. Because I have seen some plants, you quote for them a certain figure X, then they opt to do timber. But finally, they come back to you and tell you, but then your thing was way cheaper than timber.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So according to you, then light gauge steel would be cheaper, could be cheaper than timber.
if well designed.
All right.
Yes,
If not well designed,
it will be very expensive than even timber.
okay. Yeah, again, maybe there's something that I can talk about that is touching on the beauty. Yeah,
Yes.
they're more beautiful than timber to look at. But then the sad bit is that they will be covered at
Yeah, sure.
in the long run. But then just a recap is that as compared to timber, you said that the light gauge steel, there is the aspect of speed, there is an aspect of cost, and then durability. That is, it can withstand termite, moisture, and fire.
Fire.
It's fire resistant. Are there other advantages to it?
Yes, it does not warp, shrinkage due to to moisture.
Yes, yes.
It is easy. It is 100% recycled.
Okay.
It can be recycled. Yes.
And then when it is light, so can you do it with less chuma when you're doing your roofing?
Yes.
We'll do a beam to support the timber.
Yes.
So is it lighter than now timber itself?
Yes, it is lighter than timber. Then look of another aspect. Assuming you have a very big space or a span of a roof where timber won't be convenient.
Sufficient.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Like I've done free supports from beam to beam. I've done a truss of 23.5 meters
With the light gauge steel?
with light gauge steel.
From end to end?
From end to end.
Okay.
It was a church, so there was no intermediate supports at the center. You see, timber you can't do even close to 12 meters.
Okay.
Yes. Then when you go back to the normal steel, it is way too expensive because I did the cost comparison of that project. It was the difference was close to 5 million. Yes.
Okay.
Price difference.
And that would be what percentage of the project cost? Maybe it could be 5 million out of 1 billion.
Okay, I was saying, you see, the initial cost of the roofing using the mild steel was 18 million.
Okay.
Then I did it with 13 million.
Oh, that's quite a saving. That's quite a saving. So what I'm hearing from you is that you're saying that light gauge steel has close to the same properties of the normal steel,
Yes.
but it is cheaper than steel. Again, coming to compare with timber, it is still behaving like steel in the sense that it doesn't warp. It is not affected by the weather, the fire. It has a resistance, and but then it can span for
long spans.
It can accommodate long spans as compared to timber, which will be good for small spans.
Yes.
And then you talked about wastage. Yes, I know for timber there is wastage. So how do you avoid wastage when you're doing light gauge steel roofing?
You see, our steel is pre-engineered.
Okay.
So I'll have your plans. I'll redesign your roof plan using our software. So everything will be cut to
precision.
Yes.
Okay. What about sustainable use of resources? Timber, light gauge steel, which one is more available? Which one would you say is going green? Maybe sustainability for sustainability.
Light gauge steel.
Yeah.
You see, we are all going green.
Okay.
So assume now there is the government assumes to ban logging. So what are we going to do?
Okay. Okay. So you would say that doing light gauge steel is going green.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I see. But what about the availability of this material?
The materials
we import?
Yeah, we import materials from, you get steel from either India, you get it from China.
Okay.
You can still get it from Egypt. Yeah, those are the main countries that you get from. So the materials are available. Still, there are some other local companies that have the materials around. Yes.
Fine. Maybe before I wind up on the conversation about roofing, I would want to ask just a confirmation that can light gauge steel support any kind of roofing material? There are those light roofing material like the normal mabati. There could be heavier ones, maybe
Like clay tiles.
the clay tiles.
Yes.
They are more heavier than the mabati or decra. So can it support every kind of roofing?
It will support any kind of roofing.
Okay.
Yes.
And can it accommodate people to climb at the top in case there are some repairs and I need to go up?
Remember I told you, we have a design software.
Okay.
So as we design, the software knows, you know, those design factors.
Okay.
That there are live loads, dead loads.
Okay.
So after even 5 years, if you need to repair, not even repair, we even allow for solar panels,
Okay.
including the solar water heating panels. And they are very heavy. They are close to 400 kgs. So it will support.
Okay, I see. We talked about solar panels, but then we don't do tanks. What about tanks? Small
No,
tanks,
small tanks, no. Now, unless you do the
slab.
as a slab for small tanks.
Okay,
Yes.
fine. Now, I want to shift a bit from the conversation about roofing. We talked about the LGS,
Yes.
the light gate steel, in the context of roofing. For a home, assuming I'm doing a home, where else can I use the light gate steel?
Partitions,
How?
especially let's say you have a maisonette. Even before you go to, assuming you have a maisonette, you can mold like it steel and you form your own staircase. Yes. Vis-a-vis, you see the concrete staircase is a bit expensive. So you can mold and design your own staircase.
And it will be cheaper.
It will be cheaper.
Okay.
You can clad the staircase using there's a board called fiber cement board, which is a moisture proof board. And from that you can do any finish that you want.
Right.
Assuming you have a very big space where you need to do the library, a study, or any other office setup.
Yeah.
Apart from now using the ordinary aluminium and glass, you can use fiber cement and light steel.
Can you use it to fabricate doors and windows?
Frames.
Yes.
They are frames, yes.
And windows?
Window frames.
Window frames.
Yes.
And the doors? Door frames.
Door frames alone.
Just the same way we do with aluminium.
Exactly.
And yeah, of course, I can see it has a look like that of aluminium.
Yes.
But how would it be cheaper with light gauge steel as compared to aluminium?
Yeah, it's cheaper than aluminium.
It is cheaper than aluminium. Right. So we've talked about the door frames, the window frames,
partition walling,
and the other one was
you can fabricate it ceilings.
Ceiling.
Yes.
Okay.
You can still use you can design a ceiling using the like steel. We call it a panel. So you take the measurement of a room.
Yeah. Yes.
You design it. Then you just come assemble and fix it.
Then in between you will do the acoustic ceiling.
Acoustic, yes.
Okay, I see.
Still you can do floor joist. Assuming you have a flat roof and you need to do a space, you want a space up there, and you can't do ordinary masonry works because the loading of the house. Still you can design floor joists. Then you incorporate it with the panels for walling, and you clad and you have your house.
Awesome, awesome. What would you talk about the uptick of LGS, light gauge steel, in our Kenyan economy? Do you feel like we have really embraced this technology? If yes, what is the underlying reason why they are taking it up at that rate? If no, what is the major hindrance to the uptake?
I don't think it is. Yes or no.
So you're in between.
We are in between because you see, as you go to the old engineers, some of them they just tell you that we just need a timber roofing. We don't know your thing.
Okay, so one, you're talking about the biased professional guidance.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you'll go to an engineer who will just tell you, I'll just do light gauge steel.
Okay. Yes. So it boils down to the professional guidance.
Exactly.
All right. And any biasness from the developers themselves?
Some of them will go for light gauge and some will go for timber.
Okay.
Yes. Because they think timber is cheaper than LGS.
Okay. So it's the perception that timber would outrightly be cheaper than light gauge steel.
Yes.
Is what now makes the people to go for timber.
Yes.
And what would be the advice that you can give such? Maybe there could be one listening and might want to give it a thought. So does one go for, or how can I be able to know the math? Which one is cheaper? Which one is more expensive?
Okay, to us, what we do, you just send us your drawings. We give you a quote.
Okay.
It's okay. Same for timber. So if you're from there, you get a timber quote and an LGS quote.
Okay.
So you compare it yourself.
So they go and get a quotation from timber from somewhere else.
Somewhere else, yes.
And then they come to you and get a quotation on LGS.
Yes.
And as your quotation, is it just about supplying the trusses, or you're supplying and fixing?
We do either. Now it depends now with the client.
Okay.
We can supply and fix, and we can just supply.
Okay.
Yes.
And how do you support the LGS with can it support all kind, not in terms of weight, but how does it connect with roof coverings such as DECRA, such as clay tiles? How does it hold?
The connection details.
Yes.
You just screw. There's a screw that you do for the
With
Decra.
uh
And the okay, all other materials apart now from
clay
clay
tiles.
tiles.
Uh-huh.
You see, now clay tiles, you do some particular buttons to hold them
All right.
because you see you can't screw or nail to a clay tiles.
Clay tiles.
Yes,
Okay. So just the same way you do for
yes.
the
For
other
the
kind of
other,
roofing systems.
yes.
All right, fine. Yeah, that is good. It was a good conversation. I really appreciated your input. Maybe you can, as we go over, perhaps what you can talk about in a nutshell about maybe addressing the viewer in a nutshell about light gauge steel, and yeah, maybe a good award. Then we'll be wrapping it.
You see, light gauge steel is the way to go. It is eco-friendly.
Mm-hmm.
So I would advise my clients to switch from timber to light gauge steel.
All right.
So that we can even save our forests.
We save our forest.
Yes,
Awesome.
well. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Augustine.
Asante sana.
So that was our time with Augustine, who is a specialist when it comes to light gauge steel. And as I said, he has been involved in various projects across the country. And yeah, he's challenging us. We can adopt something that is outside the conventional. He's challenged us to go green. So I don't know what is your thought about light gauge steel following this conversation. You can drop a comment on the section below, and please like, subscribe, and share widely to a fellow builder or a contractor or even a foreman if this information has been very helpful. We have indicated the contacts down there for Augustine. You can reach out to him in case you may desire to do light gauge steel. And until next time, build smart and build sustainably. Thank you very much.